Today on Fletch Talks, more with author FJ Lennon. School Crossing is an intense drama about a retired police detective who takes a last stand against school shootings by placing himself in front of his local elementary school, upsetting the community and the political forces around him. School Crossing not only asks the important questions, it offers real, workable solutions to the recurrent tragedy of school shootings. School Crossing, in paperback and for Kindle at Amazon.com. Or save 15% when you buy this or any other Fletcher Rhoden paperback from FletcherRhoden.com. You know, Simon & Schuster is big time. How does that feel? How are you enjoying being with a big publisher?
It's great, and a lot of it's great, but you know, I also feel like I'm low on the totem pole at times. They got a lot of bestsellers at Atria. You know, they got a lot of big authors. They had Jodi Picoult. I don't know if she's still there or not. They had Brad Thor, Vince Flynn. So you know, it's great to be recognized and signed by an editor and a label like that. But it's, you know, it's also hard to get attention because, you know, there's it's a big business when you got those kind of authors to service, and you know, and you know, the publishing industry is just going through a rapid, huge change, you know, all the way around. And so big publishers, while they're fantastic, they're also not as nimble, and they're not adapting and changing as quickly as they need to. And you know, in some ways, I think it'll be like the record business, where it all sort of, you know, goes up in proverbial flames and reemerges as something entirely new. So, you know, I think I'm right at the end of the old publishing model, and but I also have a foot in the reality of the ebook and the digital publishing model. So you know, it's been very interesting. Very, you know, I'm certainly proud and happy to have been signed by them. You know, it made me, you know, I knew what I did was legitimate at that point. You
know, you bring up the e-books and all the new technology in publishing. That's no conversation between two writers would really be complete without hitting on that. So, yeah. Your books are available as e-books.
Yes.
As well. I assume for Kindle and perhaps for Nook and the other
Nook,
formats?
Kindle, and iBooks. Yes.
iBooks. So how are sales in the ebook format?
I think the ebook format certainly shows the most promise, by far. You know, I started out. Soul Trapper was a hardcover, and then a trade paperback, and by the time Devil's Gate came around, you know, hardcovers were pretty much gone, you know, except for the very top tier authors who you know are going to generate huge income. So just in a matter of, you know, a year and a half, that landscape changed dramatically. But at the same time, you know, ebook surpassed what I would have ever sold on hardcover. I know that. So it's interesting. It was, you know, clearly that's where we're headed. You know, there's one retail chain left out there, and that one's in trouble, Barnes and Noble. And God knows, you know, what that'll turn into or how it'll survive. The independent bookstore is few and far between, and that's sad and heartbreaking, but a reality. You know, so the ebook format is really where there's going to be growth, if at all. That's where it'll be. I mean, it's just, and you know, I have a library. You know, I purged a lot of books in my move, but you know, I love books. I love to hold books, and you know, I love to look at them, and I appreciate their design. But you know, I read on my iPad. You know, and I have a Kindle app and an iBook app and the Nook app, and I enjoy reading on it. It doesn't replace books for me emotionally, but it's convenient, quick. I can get a sample. I don't have, you know, to buy. You know, I don't have to. It's and if my eyes hurt, I can make the text bigger, and so I'm sold. I'm not one of these writers that looks at it and says, oh, it's destroying the industry, and blah, blah. It may be, but it's a good thing if it does.
Well, you mentioned earlier if it has a future, and now you put it this way, that it may be destroying the industry. Do you seem skeptical that there is a future for literature in mainstream entertainment at all?
I think I don't. I mean, I think Stephen King said recently, that he thinks that the printed books will die out. I don't really think that, and I certainly don't hope for that. But I do think that ebooks will be the emergent platform. I don't think books will ever die, and I don't really want to live in a world where they do. But at the same time, commercial authors are going to find that ebooks are what they must master. They must master. Getting the book published now is the easy part. You can do it yourself. The hard part now is going to be taking that tool and building an audience with it. And that's a whole other layer of skills. That every author now must have. In my opinion.
Mm-hmm. But tell me a little bit more about that. How involved are you in the social media marketing and the other cutting edge marketing techniques?
100% in my court. I think the traditional publishers are still they're slow to embrace social, the social media outlets. They're very quick to tell you all about them. And here's what you need to do. You need to know Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. You need to know Instagram. Here are ideas about how you can, but they're not doing it for you. No, they're not at all. So they're volleying the tennis ball to you now, to the author, to sort of build your audience.
Well, what are you doing? Are you on Twitter and Pinterest and all that?
Yes, I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. I have a blog. I have a website, and I'm on there daily. I know some authors that do that more than they write, and that's not going to save you. You still need that balance of good work. But the thing that authors have to know now is that's all going to be up to you. Your web presence, your social media presence is going to come out of your pocket, and what you make of it is what you put into it. Because I don't know any publishers out there that are attacking, or at least for a new author, attacking the market, or marketing, by doing all of that stuff. They're just not. They're still putting books in an envelope and sending it to the Milwaukee Journal, and hoping for a review on Sunday. And people they're not reading the Milwaukee Journal. If they are, it's digital, largely, and bloggers have become the new book critics that matter. So you need to now look at all the bloggers out there. Who out there has an audience? Who likes the kind of thing you're writing about? How can you establish a relationship with that person? How can you get them to write about your book? It's all really time-consuming stuff, but necessary,
Next time, more with FJ Lennon. If you'd like to be a guest on Fletch Talks, drop me an email. I'm Fletcher Rhoden.